Throughout human history, money has been both a blessing and a curse, a tool for liberation and an agent of corruption. The phrase, "the love of money is the root of all evil," resonates across cultures and epochs, provoking profound questions about human nature, morality, and society. What is it about money that holds such power over us? And how does this love shape the world we live in today? For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. 1 Timothy 6 chapter 10. The sentiment echoes in the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna warns against greed, stating, "Those who are motivated only by desire for the fruits of action are miserable, for they are constantly anxious about the results of what they do." Similarly, Buddhist teachings identify craving and attachment as sources of suffering, pointing to money as one of the most intoxicating attachments of all. These ancient warnings seem to fall on deaf ears in our modern age. Have we learned anything from these teachings, or have we doubled down on our obsession with wealth? Why does the love of money wield such power over the human psyche? Psychologists argue that money is not merely currency, it is a symbol, a proxy for security, status, and self-worth. Erich Fromm, the renowned psychoanalyst, described modern society as one in which having often supersedes being. Money, he observed, becomes the measure of value, not only for objects, but for people. In this world, we risk becoming commodities ourselves, judged by our financial worth rather than the content of our character. Think about social media today. How often are influencers and personalities valued not for their insights or contributions, but for their net worth or the number of sponsored posts they've secured? Is this the future we aspire to? Consider the philosophical reflections of Karl Marx, who saw money as a force that alienates people from their labor, from others, and from their authentic selves. Marx wrote, "Money transforms all my incapacities into their opposite. If I am ugly, I can buy myself the most beautiful of women. If I am lame, I can get myself 24 legs." Money, therefore, appears as the god among commodities. This notion feels disturbingly familiar in a world where billionaires shape global policy and influence elections, often to protect their interests rather than the common good. Have we, as a society, placed too much faith in the power of wealth to solve our problems, neglecting the moral cost of such dependency? On a societal level, the love of money often manifests as greed, exploitation, and inequality. Sociologist Max Weber, in The Protestant Ethic and the Spirit of Capitalism, argued that the pursuit of wealth became sanctified in modern capitalist societies. Wealth accumulation, once a means to an end, morphed into an end in itself, a sign of divine favor and personal virtue. This sanctification of wealth often blinds societies to the moral cost of such pursuits: environmental degradation, labor exploitation, and the dehumanization of the poor. Religious traditions, from Christianity to Islam, consistently caution against hoarding wealth while others suffer. In the Quran, Surah Al-Humaza warns, "Woe to every scorner and mocker who collects wealth and continuously counts it. He thinks that his wealth will make him immortal." This verse cuts to the heart of our delusion, the belief that money can shield us from the inevitabilities of life and death. Yet history has shown that empires built on greed often collapse under the weight of their own hubris. The 2008 financial crisis serves as a modern example of this truth, a catastrophic failure driven by unchecked greed and the reckless pursuit of profit at any cost. Let us turn to the realm of ethics. Aristotle's concept of the golden mean teaches that virtue lies in balance. Money itself is not evil, it is the disproportionate love of money, the obsession that tips the scales toward vice. Aristotle would argue that wealth should serve a greater purpose, the flourishing of individuals and communities. When money becomes an idol, it warps our moral compass, leading us to prioritize profit over people and convenience over conscience. How often do we see this imbalance in modern corporations, where the pursuit of quarterly earnings eclipses the well-being of employees, customers, and even the planet? Is the love of money truly the root of all evil, or is it merely a branch of a deeper tree? Friedrich Nietzsche might argue that the will to power, the drive to dominate and control, is the true root. Money, then, is but a tool, a manifestation of this will. It amplifies both virtue and vice, revealing the true character of those who wield it. He who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself does not become a monster. In the pursuit of wealth, we risk losing our humanity. Can we identify examples in our lives or communities where the pursuit of money has eroded trust, compassion, or shared purpose? Psychologist Carl Jung adds another layer, suggesting that our relationship with money reflects our shadow selves, the parts of us we deny or repress. Greed, envy, and fear are not external forces, they are within us, waiting to be acknowledged and transformed. Jung would urge us to confront these shadows, to understand why we covet and hoard, and to seek fulfillment beyond material wealth. Let us reflect on the words of the Dalai Lama, who reminds us, we need to learn to want what we have, not to have what we want, in order to get stable and steady happiness. The love of money, unchecked, leads to a hollow pursuit, a treadmill of desire with no end in sight. When we use money as a tool for compassion, generosity, and justice, it becomes a force for good. What would happen if we collectively shifted our priorities? If we valued kindness over wealth and community over competition? The challenge lies not in eradicating money or its uses, but in cultivating a healthy relationship with it. To see money as a means, not an end. To value people over profits. To remember that true wealth lies in love, community, and the courage to live a life of purpose. How can we, as individuals and as a society, redefine what it means to be truly wealthy? This is not just a religious or philosophical idea. It is a call to action, a challenge to our modern world. What will you do with the money in your hands? Will it enslave you, or will it set you free? A wise man once said, "Money is a good servant, but a terrible master." Subscribe to help us grow, and until next time, take care.